Hi, this is Microsoft Office Help and welcome back to my beginner tutorial on Microsoft Excel 2010. Now, Microsoft Excel is probably one of the more different ones. It's almost nothing like Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, or Microsoft Publisher. However, you've probably seen in my other tutorials it showed up in those two, especially when you try to open a graph, how it automatically launched up Microsoft Excel. This is because Microsoft Excel is used to graph information, to make tables, and to show statistics in a clear way. So when you load up Microsoft Excel, this is going to be what you see. So as you can see, instead of the typical page, you have a grid, A, B, C, D, E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. However, up the top, we still have the typical toolbar, home, insert, page layout, formula, data, review, view. So they did the same thing, but I'm just going to run through them one more time. So see, we have the font. So the font you can always change if you want to type something in. You can change that. We can change the font. We can change the size, bold, italic, underline. However, this is a new one. It's gridding it, and this is adding borders. And I will go through that a little bit later. And then we have the alignment, same as before. And then we have numbers, just in case we wanted to add in numbers. And here are some different things which are specific to Excel, and we're going to go through them in a bit. And here we have insert picture, clip art, shapes. So if you wanted to add in a shape for some reason, then we can do that. But we're not going to do that right now. And then we have screenshots and then the graphs. And we're going to come back to the graphs as well, as they are very, very useful within Microsoft Excel. Then we have page layout, margins, themes. Then themes aren't used so much within Excel, but you can still use them if you want to. Print area. And here we have formulas, another new thing in Microsoft Excel. So we have things like insert function, auto sum. Now these are all used, and we're going to come back to them later as well. We're just doing a brief overview to show you everything that there is. Data, filter, sort. Again, this is what you can do. What if, a very important tool in Microsoft Excel. Review, spelling, research thesaurus, the typical review page in all Microsoft products. And view, so we have normal, page layout, page view break. You can adjust where the mouse breaks are by clicking and dragging with your mouse. However, we don't really have any information, so it doesn't show that much. Custom views, we're not going to do that right now. And then there's full screen, which we do not want right now. So we're just going to go back to normal, and we do not want those. Oh well. Alright, so down the bottom here, we also have these. So we have page sheet 1, sheet 2, and sheet 3, and these are just the different sheets that you can access within Excel. We don't really need to worry about that right now. So this is the grid. This is where you're going to be doing all your work in Microsoft Excel. So each one of these is one specific grid. You can navigate them by using your arrow keys, by clicking, by hitting enter, tab to go across, all sorts of things. And as you can see, each time you go up here, it shows you which grid piece you're on. So M7, as you go down, numbers increase as you go across, the letters go in alphabetical order. And so if you want to add something in, you just type. So your grid, hello, then you go numbers. However, I'm going to show you what Excel is used for. So say for example that you have a group of kids and you're getting back their marks for certain subjects. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a table for this. So we have first name, hit left to go across or tab, last name. Now put in this information with me. Um, okay, maths, English, um, science, and then average. Now these are just going to be our titles. However, you can see that sometimes the grids aren't quite big enough, cutting off the E in both first name and last name. So there's two things we can do to do this, and we're going to do both of them right now. So if we put your cursor over here so that it changes into what you can see right now, you click and you drag open, and it increases the size of the grid for that column. As you can see, we now have enough room. However, if you want it to be precise, then what you can do is when your cursor changes to that, you double click and it automatically moves it so that there's enough room. Now we're going to put in some information. So first name, last name, math, science, English and science, average. You can put in whatever you want. We're just going to put in some typical names here. Alright, so Sally, John, Cole, Andrew. We're not going to do that many for this one. And I'm horrible with names, by the way, as you can probably tell. Widom, I love that name. Um, okay, yeah. Okay, so now we have that. Now we're going to put in some scores. Okay, so we might just do 5, 72, 65. No, we don't want that. Yep. Just put in any values that you like. It does not really matter. Okay, now for average, as you've already guessed, the average is the average of these three scores. Now this is why you use Excel and not anything else. So for example, if you wanted the average, now most of the time, if you wanted to figure this out, you would have to open up the calculator, put them all in, and then get the average yourself. However, this is what you do in Excel. Up the top here, on the home page, we're going to click on Auto Sum, the arrow here. We're going to click on that, and then we're going to click Average. And now, as you can see, it's automatically guessed that we want them from C2 to E2. See, the colon means from, so it includes everything in between, and there's an outline around it. Then we click somewhere. No, sorry. My bad. Then we hit enter, and it automatically gives us the average. Now, we can do this again. We can just go average, and however, it's got the wrong one. So what we want to do is we're going to click on maths, then hold down the shift button and click on science, and that selects all of them, and then we're going to hit enter again. And as you can see, we can either do this time and time again, or what we can do, if we want to autofill everything, see when we click on it, we have this tiny box on the rectangle here. We're going to click on that when the cursor changes and drag it down. And this applies the formula of average to each one underneath it. So you can see that it's automatically gone through and gotten the average. This is why we use Excel. For some tables where you would see values going down in the hundreds of values, so if it goes all the way down here, you don't really want to figure out the average or just type in it all the time. However, all you have to do in Excel, click, drag all the way down, and it's automatically done for you. This is some of the great things about Excel. However, we don't really like the look of this. We don't like how it goes 75.33333 or 66666. So what we're going to do now is we're going to change that. So what we're going to do is highlight all of these values. We click on the top, press shift, click on the bottom. So click on the top, hold down shift, click on the bottom. Then we're going to right click and look for format cells down the bottom here. Now it comes up, and what we want to do is we go number, general. However, we don't like that, so we're going to click number here, and it has decimal places and has a sample of it. Now 2 decimal places is fine, and we're okay with that. So we're just going to hit OK. And as you can see, instead of having the recurring number, it just has 2 decimal places each time, and it's rounded off, making it much simpler and easier to read. This is another good thing about Microsoft Excel. You can format it to do absolutely anything that you want. Alright, now this table, it's good, however, it doesn't really look all that nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a border to it. We're going to click and drag all around it, and up here, remember how I was telling you about this? We're going to click here and go thick box border. And as you can see, that's added an outline grid to it. So that's just a nice little thing for it. However, if you want to, we can also go all borders. And as you can see, it's added a border to every part of it. So it's just a nice thing that we can do to make it look better. And if we want to make the cells themselves look different, we can click here, we can go all of this. However, since this is for a school report, what we're going to do is if we have marks below a certain threshold, for example 70%, we want them to be highlighted in red to stand out. So this just makes it easy for the person marking it. If they see someone who's not doing too well, they can instantly see it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to highlight all the average values. Actually, we're going to highlight all the values, and then up the top here on the home page, we're going to click on conditional formatting. Now we're going to go highlight cell rules, and we're going to click on less than. So format cells that are less than, alright, what's a good mark? If it's below 65%, we might be getting worried. So we click 65 here, we click here, and then we go red text. If it's red text, we know that there's something wrong. Red obviously signifies that. And then we hit OK. And as you can see, everything below 65 has been highlighted with a red text, and this will change. It's not just a one-time thing. So say if we change this value to 50, as you can see, both the average and the average goes down, and the new value has been changed, and they both become red. So it's just an easy way and one of the few things that you can do with Excel. So for now, I'm going to end this tutorial here. I hope you learned a little bit about Excel and the things that we can do, and I'm going to be going through a lot more tutorials in Excel as there is a lot that we can do with it, just to expand on Microsoft Excel later on. But so far, I've hoped you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you tune in again, and as always, have a nice day.